Will the Minister please update the House on how the Morrison Government's world-leading legislation is facilitating commercial deals between news media businesses and digital platforms, and how these deals will strongly support the future of public interest journalism in Australia?
The Minister for Communications.
Well, I do thank the member for Sturt for his question, and I know he has a very strong commitment to a vigorous news media sector in Australia, as indeed does our government. A vigorous and diverse news media sector is an essential element in a modern democracy, and that is a key reason why the then Treasurer, now Prime Minister, initiated the ACCC's Digital Platforms Inquiry. It's why the Prime Minister and the Treasurer and I and our colleagues have been working to give effect to the recommendations that the ACCC made in that multi-hundred-page, very comprehensive report, which started with the premise that there is a significant issue of market power in the market for digital advertising.
The Minister will resume his seat. The member for Kennedy on a point of order.
Mr. Speaker, if a person knows that a minister is lying, is it my duty to stand up and say that he's lying? Christine Holgate never resigned. Don't tell lies to the House.
The member for Kennedy will resume his seat. The Leader of the House.
I think that was one question ago, Mr. Speaker.
I think it was one question. It took him a little bit of time to get down here. Well, first of all, we're not going to have those terms bandied around. The member for Kennedy knows full well two things: not to use unparliamentary language and the member for Kennedy can withdraw the word lie and substitute the word he just said if he wants to. Member for Kennedy.
Speaker, I withdraw the word lie and I say he's told an untruth.
The member for Kennedy will resume his seat. Having been a member of this House for 28 years, I refer the member for Kennedy to other opportunities in the parliamentary day to engage in political debate. The Minister has the call.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'm pleased to return to the question presently before the House. And as the Treasurer has pointed out, over recent days we've seen announcements from Seven West Media in relation to striking an agreement with Google. We've seen a story in the Sydney Morning Herald yesterday, of course owned by Nine Entertainment Limited, about that business striking an agreement with Google. We've seen an announcement today that News Corp has announced a groundbreaking agreement with Google, and we welcome these commercial deals because we make the point that the News Media Bargaining Code very specifically is designed to encourage commercial negotiation. Indeed, the policy evil that it is addressing is that because of the imbalance of bargaining power, we have not hitherto seen the sorts of commercial agreements you would ordinarily expect. Now, in relation to the conduct of Facebook, in blocking access to many pages today, that clearly raises serious questions. If you say that you object to the News Media Bargaining Code, why would you block the pages of government departments, of emergency services organisations, of the Bureau of Meteorology, of 1800-RESPECT? These pages would never be covered by the code. Why were you so determined to resist the introduction of blocking requirements under our legislation in relation to abhorrent violent material, yet it turns out that you can block thousands of pages of wholly unobjectionable content overnight? Why would you pick on small businesses like North Shore Mums in my electorate? A founder, Rachel Chappell, told me today she's got 25,000 followers. She found this morning her feed is no longer appearing on the page. Why is it a good idea to respond to a policy measure directed at your market power with an overt display of that market power? And why don't you recognise that our government is committed to this code, we're committed to legislating it, and what we suggest is that Facebook needs to come back to sensible discussion with the government. We've been engaging with all of the stakeholders. We'll continue to do that, but what we will not change is our resolve to legislate this code.